Welcome back to Dawn of Defiance with Dark Wolf Studios. Today we will be finishing the adventure in the Trader's Gambit and beginning the first portion of A Wretched Hive. The music for this session is provided by Tabletop Audio. Please check them out at tabletopaudio.com or on their Patreon. Now on to the action. Last we saw our hero Mikal. He had broken Admiral Varth out of an Imperial prison and assaulted the command center of the prison. There he engaged with several Imperial forces, including a heavily modified Felucian. During the battle, he called upon the dark side in an attempt to stay up and fighting, but was ultimately driven unconscious by the modified Felucian. Maya and the others finished the fight and took Mikal back to their ship to recover. Where will he wake up next? Alright. I guess the first question of the day for the Oracle is, does Mikal wake up en route to their destination? And you know what? I'm going to say it's pretty unlikely. You know, he's 2 steps down the condition track. He's pretty hurt. He's not done well in his fights on Felucia. So what's going to happen? Is he going to wake up? Is he going to remain asleep? Let's find out. No and. Let's see. So he does not wake up during the journey off of Felucia. They're actually going to go roughly out here. There's a planet that they'll be going to. Not really a planet, but there's a rendezvous point. And he doesn't wake up at all until he's on board the frigate that he's going to. Let's see. Does he wake up in the first couple of days? You know, let's make it just a roll. Let's see. We'll do a D6 or a D4. 3. So it takes him 3 days to wake up, during which time he's received surgery and pretty much recovered from the exertions on Felucia. At this point, he meets our captain and finds out that he is on a brand new Nebulum B frigate named the Resurgence. Captain Adrian Varana, is a tall, slender man with jet black hair and a finely trimmed beard. He's dressed in the sterile uniform of an Alderanian officer. He tells him in the medical bay that he's been assigned quarters, and that, of course, any of the facilities up to and including the medical bay is available at any time. Also, that the credits promised by the employer have been transferred to his bank account, and he's free to confirm that transaction on the terminals there in his quarter. Captain Verana also tells him that Senator Organa is thankful for his assistance and grateful that he went to such risks to help him. Verana tells him that he has been offered permanent quarters on the Resurgence in exchange for his assistance in the near future. Captain Verana believes that the Senator will have further need of clandestine agents to act on his behalf in the future. And he encourages Mikal to keep as quiet as possible about Senator Organa's involvement. Especially now that they've taken overt action against the Empire, they don't want to incriminate the Senator at all. While he's there in the medical bay, Mikal asks him if he knows anything about an Inquisitor Draco. Captain Verana becomes troubled, mutters that they may have uncovered something far more involved than a simple Imperial traitor. An Imperial Inquisitor should be of significant concern to Mikal, because the chief concern of the Inquisitorius is hunting down, capturing, and killing Force-sensitive beings of all stripes. Alright, well that's not good for Mikal. So he's going to take some time to to kind of recover, recenter himself. He should be back to full strength now, so he's not hurt too badly, we hope. At least until he starts the next fight. And he is going to level up during this time. So we'll go ahead and do that now, prior to him beginning his next step. I think I'm going to make him take another class in Jedi. I feel like that'll be probably one of the better options for him. So he gets another talent from the Jedi talent tree. And let me look and see what he's able to get. Alright, so he is going to take the deflect talent, because that's probably going to be one of the best things for him. I help keep him alive as much as he can. Alright, let's see here. As far as his talent, those are his talents. The Force. We are going to add Force Shield to him. He'll try to remember how he tried to use it, practice with that. And let's add in, see if his regiments will add right now. Nope. Let me add his Force regiments. Alright. I'll have to play with that later. More importantly, though, he does get to increase 2 of his stats. He's going to increase his charisma and his wisdom, which should help him a little bit more dealing with the Force, and hopefully keep him up and moving just a touch more. Let's see if it'll allow me. Nope. Alright. So, change that to a 7 since we're using the rules there. He's got 47 hit points now, currently at 47. He'll have brand new Force points. Not that that really matters for him at the moment. Let's see. How many Force points does he get? 5. Alright. And he'll be at 1 destiny point. That is probably going to be the most useful thing of all for him. Alright, during his time there, he's going to practice with a training remote that he's going to request to be shipped over to him. Developing the talent in the deflect ability with his lightsaber, hopefully allow him to keep himself alive and moving a little bit more. And he's going to start to grapple with the fact that he drew on the dark side. He's got 1 dark side point. He's not sure how to atone for that. There it is right there. It's going to be something that's going to weigh on his mind for probably a significant amount of time moving forward, until he's able to redeem himself for letting his fear and his anger get in the way. So now Mikal will be summoned to a briefing room aboard the Resurgence, and there he'll find Gilder Varth, now dressed in a Alderaanian ship officer uniform, and a small yellow and silver astromech is going to whistle softly next to him. As Mikal enters the briefing room, he finds it's a clean white room with several benches wrapping smoothly around a holographic projector seated on a raised dais in the center of the room. The projector springs to life, and the blue-tinted hologram of a hut appears to hover a few inches from the projector's three curved prongs. The brusque clearing of his throat, former Imperial officer Gilder Varth begins to speak, wasting little time on pleasantries. Before the Empire decided my conscience was a liability, he says, I was involved peripherally in a top-secret plan known as the Sarlacc Project. While the details of the project are unknown to me, I was involved in the transfer of large sums of credits and resources to the project. Whatever the project entails, it is taking up a lot of the Empire's time and effort. Moreover, I believe that this Sarlacc project is destroying the lives of thousands of sentient beings. Casualty reports cross my desks on a regular basis. Unfortunately, I don't know much more than that. However, during my brief brushes with the project, I discovered that the Imperial Navy was hiding the program's existence from the Senate by transferring resources through secondary sources. Resources were routed through the corporate sector, through fake contractors, and routed through the criminal underworld to keep a trail from leading back to the project. One such secondary source was a Hutt crime lord named Darga. Like all Hutts, Darga is a slimy gangster whose love of credits is only exceeded by his love of power. Part of my job involved transferring resources to Darga, and in turn arranging for Imperial agents to take control of other resources from the Hutt's organization. These were not simply transfers of credits, the items being traded were not specified, but physical resources were definitely being exchanged. Though it is not much, this is the only lead that we have. Captain Varana has charged me with helping to uncover more about the Sarlacc project, and he has authorized me to use you as my agents. We need you to travel to the planet of Cato, Neimoidia, and find Darga the Hutt. See if you can learn what he is trading and how it relates to the Sarlacc project. Mikal easily agrees. Alright, I'm in. What else do you know about the Sarlacc project? Varth responds, not much more than what I've told you. My involvement came in managing the resources, and most of those transactions were encoded. Alright, where am I supposed to find Darga the Hutt? Unfortunately, Darga's exact whereabouts are unknown. However, he has been seen in the Cato, Neimoidia city of Zara. Chances are that someone in the city knows where he is. What can you tell me about Zara? Zara was heavily damaged during the Clone Wars, and about half the city still in ruins. A few residents that have chosen remain inhabit a small cluster of settlements on one end of the city. Alright. Mikal. He's gonna kind of use the Force to see if there's anything. It's gonna be a 24. He doesn't need to have that -1 anymore. Thankfully. Oh no, he does, because he's got that prosthetic limb. So that's a 23 on use the Force, and we're gonna get important for that. Toss knock. I'm not sure what to do with that one, so we'll go for another one. Highfalutin property. Well, if he's a gangster, he probably likes getting gifts. I wonder if there's something that we could give him that might help bring his attention to us. Maybe it'll help us become, not friends, but at least polite enough that he'll give us some trust. Mikal is going to go gather his team. Maya, he's going to station that B1, the medical droid, on his ship, just in case. He's learned that he doesn't survive very long out in the wild, and that it's better for him to be prepared. Also going to collect R2Z0 to help with that, and let's see if he, Maya, and R2Z0 were able to modify that Imperial droid. Let's see, which one was it? The Warden droid. I don't even think we need to use that. I think we can just use a use computer check to reprogram it. Let's see here what that would take. Perhaps he can have that warden droid be his bodyguard. Maybe keep him alive a little bit longer. Let's see. DC's their will defense. Can obey its master, copy erase its memory, and change its trained skills. So let's see here what the warden droid's will defense is 10, I believe. We'll double check that in the full stat block just in case there's something that I missed in putting this droid together. Warden droid will defense is 10. Alright, so does Mikal do it? I don't remember if Mikal has used computer. He does not. But he can have R2Z0 help him with that. Let's see, do you have to be trained to reprogram a droid? Yes, you do. Alright, so it'll just be R2Z0 making this check. And of course he succeeds. Alright, so Mikal has collected a new happy to help droid, the warden droid, to kind of serve as a protector for him, at least for the time being. It's definitely better than nothing there. He may go and get that modified a little bit later on. Alright. Does anything unusual happen before they leave for Cato Neimoidia? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Roll. So what unusual thing happened? We're going to go ahead and use helpful upset sister. Mikal doesn't have a sister, so that's not very helpful. But I guess Maya does. Maya does have a sister that we just created. Alright, let's get her name. And her name be Caleria. Alright. So we're just gonna go ahead and create her real quick as a NPC. Leave her just there. No idea what her stats are. We'll deal with that here in a little bit, but we just want to make sure that we don't forget to create her. So our prompts were helpful upset sister. Alright. So Caleria is going to be helpful. She's going to help them out. I think what's going to happen is she's going to stow away on Mikal's ship in an attempt to help her sister. She's also going to be a part of the Alderaanian forces. She's unhappy that her sister's been off doing some Black Ops work, and she wants to help her out. So she's going to stow away, and they won't find her until they land on Cato Neimoidia. So I think that's where that will take place. Alright. So the trip to Cato Neimoidia is uneventful. they're going to find a planet far from its former glory days in the days before the Clone Wars. As a world in the colonies, Cato and Neimoidia should be far more populated than it is. As they're in the cockpit, they can see there's very little traffic traveling to and from the world. As the ship descends towards the planet, the ship flies through layers of clouds and zooms over cities built on massive bridges between rock arches. But the cities are all but abandoned, seemingly left to rot after the Clone Wars. Go ahead and pull that imagery up. There we go. It's obviously a little bit abstracted, but something that we can use to kind of generate what we're looking at here, what it looks like. We're going to land with no difficulty, no visible Imperial presence. We dock at the spaceport in the city of Zara, and though there's propaganda posters lining the spaceport walls, there's no sign of stormtroopers or other Imperial officials. Though the Empire still controls the planet, and though the presence is not very strong, that situation could change quickly. Zara is dilapidated to the point of being hazardous. As we walk around, we see that there's little in the way of authority or commerce. Several large buildings that appear to have been lavish palaces lay half toppled and mostly destroyed. Rubble litters the streets, and land speeders must veer sharply to avoid permacrete lying haphazardly in the road. Alright. So, as they go to leave the ship, that is when our new friend Kaliria will shout out to Maya, "Oh, don't you go without me." And Maya is going to turn around, confused, same with Mikal. Maya is going to shout out, "Kaliria, why are you here?" Kaliria says, "I'm here to help. I can't let you do this by yourself anymore. I heard what happened on Felucia and on Selzon Station, and it's obvious that your leader needs help. He's almost gotten himself killed so many times since you've known him that I just can't risk losing you." Mikal grimaces at that. "Well, you're not wrong. It's been a really long couple of months. I don't know how I'm still alive, to be honest. I guess more the merrier. You can come join us and we'll continue looking for this hut." And at this point, we're going to end this episode. A little bit of more role-playing, setting up for the next set of adventures. Also, hopefully coming up here in the next little bit, I'm hoping to show how I produce these videos, a little bit of how I get myself prepared to run an adventure, particularly something that's already pre-written. I'll be showing that through the use of Murder on the Executor, which is a single, kind of a one-shot adventure that's pre-written that should be a lot of fun to kind of walk through how to piece it together and get it prepared for some solo roleplay with Saga Edition. Let me know what you think. I know this is a little bit of a shorter episode, not as much going on, but something that's still necessary to keep everything moving forward again. May the Force be with you, and hope you enjoyed.